What's up everybody and welcome back to my channel. Literally, I sit down for 1 week to try and get my anxiety under control, and I come back and find that the whole entire teen mom world has gone to SHIT. Like, this is crazy, like insanely crazy. Amber's audio tapes have leaked, and they've been leaked by a vlogger who goes by the name of Without a Crystal Ball. So if you want to listen to everything that happened in Andrew's recordings, head over to her channel. I've got the links to both of the videos in the description box below here. We all knew that Amber was insanely abusive, but like, just to hear it is really difficult. Let's start off with the first audio tape. According to Andrew, Amber was extremely upset because he woke her up at 2 p.m. This grown ass, like, basically 30-year-old woman was upset because she was woken up at 2 p.m. That is what led her into a tirade, a mother. So she calls Andrew a fat POS. You just hear James in the background just making regular baby noises. She's like, pick him up, get him, you're watching him. I'm not watching him today. And she literally tells Andrew, I'll effing stab you. Just unprovoked, out of the blue. And you know, they have a little bit more exchange of words, and fast forward a little bit later, and she's telling Andrew that she's looking for her own effing house so she can leave, and she just keeps calling him like stupid, fat, like, just, it was hard to listen to. Like, someone like degrade another person like that was seriously shocking to hear. So according to Andrew's statement, Amber even picked up the baby and basically threw him at him. He was like, whoa, why would you throw the baby at me? And like, it's clear that, you know, something touched his chest or whatever by the way that his voice shook. And again, Amber continues screaming at him that she's not going to be watching their son, and she turns her attention over to like the idea that cameras are around the house. She's like, do you got any effing cameras in here recording me, you sick F-U-C-K? And she's looking around, and Andrew's like, no, I don't have any because you chopped them with the sword. And Amber legit admits to chopping the cameras off with a sword, and she's like, you know, the only reason you're filming me is because I'm on effing television. Like, this is disgusting. Who does that? And Andrew claims that he had cameras in the house because they were out of town for a little bit, and he just wanted to make sure that the home was safe. There was a really weird part in the audio where she just, I don't know like what kind of daze she was in, but she was like, I bet if there's a room of 30 people, you'd take them all down, and yeah, you'd get raped. It was so uncalled for, and it did not even make sense within the context of their conversation. And so Andrew tells Amber, like, stop attacking me. Like, why are you always attacking me? And Amber literally says that she knows court so well that she can manipulate the system in her favor. She said, and I quote, I will do whatever I effing please. I am 5 foot effing 2. And for you to sit there and say I effing attacked you, I will not do this SHIT again. I have lawyers up the ass. Okay, somehow the second audio is even worse. Okay, somehow the second audio is even like worse than the first. Like, it just gets really, really dark, as if it wasn't already, but like, it gets extreme here. So the audio was from Christmas Eve of last year, and Amber legitimately says that she didn't want James. So Andrew's like, you know, like, one day, like when we're older, I'm gonna tell James that like his mother didn't want him. She's like, yeah, damn right I didn't want him. I didn't want any more kids until I was in my 30s, until I was like 32. She then accuses Andrew of like purposely knocking her up for like some salacious reason. She's like, I'm also gonna tell him about how his dad forced me to have him. I didn't want any more kids until I was 32. I managed to avoid getting pregnant for 10 years. Then his dad decided to use me for my body. Like, it was wild. Like, listen, sis, if you are raw dogging someone and you're not on birth control, you are planning a pregnancy, and there's no explanation around it. You are literally planning a pregnancy. And if you did not want to have this child, no offense to James at all, but like, in retrospect, abortion is legal. You know, she could have had an abortion if she really felt like she did not want to have this child. So like, it's just so unnecessary for her to treat him like this now that he's here. Like, these audios are all being taped in front of the child. Like, you hear like the child in the room. Like, in the first tape, we even heard as she tossed James at Andrew and said, I'm not effing watching him today. I'm leaving. I'm looking for my own house. And like, she was gonna leave James with Andrew alone. Like, she does not want anything to do with this child. And if that's the way you feel, just have an abortion. Like, it's okay. And speaking of everything happening in front of James, you then actually hear her punching Andrew while he's holding James. Andrew's like, ow, ow, I'm holding James. Like, what are you doing? Why are you hitting me? And she yells, you fat ass, you ugly fat F-U-C-K. You don't deserve me, you disgusting fat ass. I can't wait. I'm going to blow you out of the water. You'll never have a career in this industry. I will make hundreds of thousands of effing dollars. On what planet does Amber Thug Life Portwood hold the keys to the media industry? Like, she is so freaking irrelevant. It hurts. And the fact that this is how she feels about herself, like this level of self-importance, is insane. And it's just so ironic to hear her talk about how, you know, he's gonna be out on the streets, never make any more money in the industry again, while she's gonna make hundreds and thousands of dollars. Well, not anymore. Now that all of this is leaked, like, there's no way that Amber's career is going, let me go back and put all these air quotes, career is going to be able to withstand this. Like, what we're hearing is, like, how do you even describe this level of disgustingness, like abuse? Like, it's like, there's no way she's not going to survive this at all. And then she tells Andrew to take James and go. Again, what kind of mother would tell like their partner to take the baby and go? I feel like a real mother, first of all, would not abuse, you know, the father of her child, especially not in front of the child, but she would want the man out of her house and stay with her child. So the fact that she's like, just take him and go, I'm not watching him, I'm not doing anything with him, tells you all that you need to know. And remember, in the season, we saw her hold this child like twice. So this is not out of the ordinary. This is not her having like a mental break. This is Amber. This is who she is. Like, and she already admitted she did not want the child at all. And she's perfectly fine saying that. She also kind of vaguely threatens him with like misrepresenting the reason for their breakup in the press. She's like, I'm gonna release a statement to the press about why this is over, you know, after telling him that he'll never work in this town again. And then you hear that she allegedly threw things at Andrew. He's like, whoa, like, you're gonna throw things at me while I'm holding the baby? And then in the final line that I'm gonna recap from it, she goes, I will kill you, I will kill you, I will kill you, get out. And then she inches closer to him, and it was so methodical and creepy. And she was like, I'm gonna stab you in the neck. And like, just knowing that she has a sword, a machete, and she already admitted to using it around the house to chop things down. She had thrown the baby, like, the way she degraded Andrew, like, I believed that that is what she's capable of. And it was truly sickening. Like, that those audiobook tapes were really hard to get through. Like, just knowing that this is happening to a real person and in front of a child, and that a mother feels this way about her child and has no problem allegedly like mishandling him and abusing someone while they're holding him, is really upsetting. And, you know, also upsetting is the fact that baby James doesn't even cry as she's screaming, as she's throwing things at James while he's holding him, you know, as she's throwing him around. Like, so it just makes you wonder, like, how normal is this for the baby? It is just so crazy to see how dark this show got. Like, 16 and Pregnant, when it came around, was this like really like interesting peek into the lives of people you knew, you know, who got pregnant in high school. Like, I'm like the age of these girls, and so like, you know, I was watching it because girls in my high school were starting to get pregnant around this time, and I'm like, pregnant in high school, like, what's that like? So the show came out and I was like, whoa, like, this is so crazy to imagine. And now, like, the turns that all of these people have taken, the deaths, the addictions, all of the jail stints, all of the child abuse, all of the partner abuse, like, who would have thought that we would end up here? And the only thing I can say is that I really do hope that all of this evidence does stand in court in Andrew's favor. I hope that he gets what he's asking for, which is sole custody of James, being able to move back over to Malibu so that he can, you know, have his family support and be able to make money within his industry again. And I'm hoping that Amber does get to serve some time for it, because, you know, I do believe in rehabilitation for people, but I also believe that not everybody is willing to be or wants to be rehabilitated. And I think that Amber overly identifies with, you know, the negative aspects of who she is. Like, she thinks this is a badge of honor. She thinks it's cool to be like a horrible, abusive person who, you know, goes to jail. Like, to her, this is sexy. This is, you know, my street cred. And I don't think that therapy has done her much of any good. Like, clearly clearly, right? It's been years and she's still the same old person. Her ex-boyfriend Matt had also accused her of physical assault. If you recall, he was texting with another woman and he had like gashes on his forehead, he was bleeding, and he said that she did this to him. And you know, obviously he was dating Amber at the time, so we can deduce that it was allegedly Amber who had done that to him. As optimistic as I am that all of the evidence that Andrew has gathered against Amber will, you know, help to put her away, I'm gonna hold my breath just because of the way that Janelle's court cases have turned out, Ryan as well. Like, it's really tough to imagine what can happen in the legal system. And I do hope that Andrew also kind of lets this play out in court as well, because all of it being so public is not that great for his son in the long run. And you know, you do have to trust the legal system to protect you at the end of the day. And I do hope that that is what the system does for him and for James also. Some members of the teen mom world have taken to social media to kind of subtly voice support for James and Andrew. It seems like very like neutral, like, oh, like we didn't know it was this bad, despite her extensive record of being an effing psycho. But I'm praying for all involved. I wish that they took a stronger stance and just said, wow, I did not know that this is what I was supporting when I went to court with Amber. I apologize if my actions affected anybody who's been affected by domestic violence. You know, if they affected Andrew and James, who were the victims here, and I'll leave it at that. Amber, you know, they could still be friends with her if they want to. I personally would not be friends with a person like this, but if they want to be friends with a person like this, go ahead. Like, they could still be friends with her, but I just wish that their stances were a lot more in support of James and Andrew. Like, not this whole, oh, I pray for everybody involved in this. No, like, let's identify the victims. Let's use very proactive words here and identify the victims, say that it's not okay, and move on. Be really strong in your stance in support of victims of domestic violence, because there are so many of them who watch the show and look up to these girls. Anyway, you guys, those are my thoughts on the audio tapes that leaked of Amber allegedly attacking James and Andrew. As usual, I'm more excited to hear what you have to say about everything, so please make sure to leave all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, and we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.